Hello, everyone who's entering in and jumping in right now. This session will begin promptly at 12:15. We're going to give everyone a few minutes, a few more people time to jump in, and then we can go ahead and get started. So we'll just give 5 minutes for people to jump in, and then we will begin our session. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this expert presentation entitled High School to Workforce Transition. We're so glad you're able to join us. My name is Alex, and I'll be your moderator for this presentation. This session will be recorded and posted on the FairStop site that you found the link on. It'll also be there for individuals who are unable to make this session live. The Professional Certificate Virtual Fair will remain open through the spring, so you can return at any time to watch this presentation. This session is being recorded on Zoom webinar mode, so all attendees, you will not be visible, nor will you be heard to avoid background noise for our panelists. In order to participate in this live stream, use your Zoom indication tools found at the bottom of your Zoom window. Depending on the type of device you are using, you might need to move the mouse around to find the tools at the bottom. On the toolbar, you'll see an icon for the Q&A. Please click on that now to open a new window, and you'll see the functions you're able to use to ask questions coming up during the webinar. We will be presenting for 30 minutes, and we'll leave about 15 minutes at the end for questions to our two panelists. I will be monitoring the Q&A portion of it, and we will pose the most commonly asked questions to our experts at the end of the presentation. Today, we're honored to have Adelina Jacobs, Career and Technical Educations Director/Coordinator at Wills Point ISD, and we have Karen Hemme, High School Counselor for Juniors and Seniors, also at Wills Point ISD. On behalf of the Professional Certificate event sponsors, GoToCollegeFairs, I would like to extend them both a warm welcome and thank you again for taking time to present on this presentation. With that being said, Adelina and Karen, I pass it off to you and we can begin.
Hello, everyone. This is a session on high school transition to workforce or non-traditional education that can be very intimidating for our high school students. In a time of instant information, students can get lost on where to find the right path into their personal career goals and aspirations. We're going to be discussing how to prepare students into the right workforce or non-traditional education pathway. We will show you the right tools and resources needed to advise students how to prepare their future success without getting into massive amounts of debt through the process. Our objectives here are how to transition high school students into the workforce or post-secondary education, determine the tools a counselor or advisor would need to launch student into the right pathway, obtain resources that are locally or nationally that would assist student financially, and determine what future success looks like without obtaining the massive debt. So I am the CTE director for our school district. These are a part of my roles. The district, I look at the district and the campus's demographic. I observe the local high demand wage job analysis reports. I also observe student endorsement selections, their programs of study. I advise students that are in grades 9 through 12. And then I also help with launching a campus-wide platform called School Links. Ms. Hemme? She's on. She's our high school counselor.
I'm here. As the high school counselor, we try to provide regular communication with the counseling department between all of our students and letting them know what resources we have available. Campus-wide on-demand student counselor requests, we have QR codes and easy access to us as much as we can possibly be there out in the halls, ready for them to see us and ask their questions and what they have regards to the post-secondary education. We have constant communication with the CTE director on appropriate scheduling with the programs of study.
For my role, for transitioning high school students into the workforce or post-secondary education, we create our awareness on our campus in our district by creating a campus and district-based events. Those events include college and career fairs, resource and transition expos. We also develop newsletters, marketing and presentations, and providing resources that I'll share with you in a bit.
Some of the things that we provide is establishing yearly goals for our students, what they want to achieve and where they want to go. We offer our YAG for each grade level. That's their year at a glance. And we have certain checklists that we go through with them to make sure that we're on track and doing all the things that we need to make sure that they're ready to enter that workforce or to go into post-secondary education.
Great. Some resources that are locally, we look at that first. As a CT director, I do a quarterly advisory committee meeting. That meeting consists of our community, parents, students, business partners, those that are involved in the community will come to these meetings. We look at what is CTE, what is career and technical education, what does the CTE student look like for our district, what resources are available to them, as well as do a business industry partnership development. We have a luncheon that we have for in the spring, in the fall and two in the spring. And so we look at what the businesses have to offer our students for our programs of study. We have over 15 programs of study for our district. For our student population, we have about 800 students on campus. And so we want to make sure that we're providing all of the locally resources that our businesses have that we can give to our students through those programs of study. We also look at our education service center. So in our region, we are Region 10 in Texas. For our education service center, there's other counties that are part of our region, but that service center is our local service where they provide resources as well to districts that are looking for business partnerships that are on a massive scale, state or regional wide.
From the counseling side of it, there's a bunch of things that we try to do to get them college and career ready. We host a college fair with Ms. Jacobs and try to get as many colleges in so that students have the opportunity to talk with those recruiters, since they might not be able to go to all the college visits we would hope them to want. We want them to understand how to prepare for either choice. What do I need to do to get there? Should I be taking the dual credit courses? Should I just be in regular courses? And of course, the main goal end all is that diploma and making sure that we graduate. We want to make sure they understand the difference in the 2-year and the 4-year universities, the auto admission charts, and the things that we can help provide in the counseling center for that. And knowing that it starts their freshman year and not just, senior year, I think I can make it happen. I can get that 2.5 GPA. But you've really got to start as soon as you cross that pathway into the high school and make sure that you're working hard from year one if those are your goals. We work with a bunch of the military academies in the area. We have almost all of them come recruit on our campus on a monthly basis. We have the Marines, Navy, I think the Army comes probably about every other month, and then the reserves, but there's the Marines, the reserves, and the Navy are probably on our campus at least once a month. They schedule certain meetings to talk to specific students if they need that advisement. I know the Navy just took 2 of our kiddos this last week to Dallas to take their ASVAB. That's awesome that they took the time out of their day to make sure our kids had that opportunity. We provide the ASVAB in the spring. We do the PSAT testing in the fall that kind of sets the foot of where you need to go and what you need to look at in order to take the SAT your junior year. We host a school day for that. At this time, we don't offer the ACT. I know that there's a lot of students that are pursuing that and want some more information. So I know it's something we might start looking into to help give that opportunity to those students and letting them know that it's kind of changing the platform that it's always been in. And the paper given test is now moving on to that online platform and making them aware that it will be still a time test, but now it's going to be on a digital platform. Explaining to them how colleges look at those scores is also super important. They think, well, I did bad this one time. Well, you might have done well in one area and you need to just increase in another area, and explaining to them how those scores work, whether colleges will super score or if you just have to take the whole test again. And finally, we have scholarships that come to our campus. We have nationwide scholarships. We have 2 that are in the running for the National Merit Scholar this upcoming year. We have lots of local scholarships that come in and lend a helping hand and make sure that our kiddos have all the opportunities that they want to.
So determining what future success looks like without masses of amounts of debt. So I'm just going to give you a little bit about my background. So the reason why I do this is because I was I went to school for physics and math and minor in engineering. And back then, I didn't know a lot of this free resources. And so I really look to finding resources for our students that won't allow them to gain that massive debt like I did. And some of us do. And we don't, it's not that we don't look for it, it's just not right smack in our face. And so when I advise students or parents about solutions that they can use or resources that they can use to not gain so much massive debt when they're going into their post-secondary education, I look for the Texas Workforce Solutions. And this has grant opportunities where they will pay for your tuition. And for Texas, it is the WOIA program where the students just need to apply and they will pay for their books, they'll pay for tuition depending on the income status. And I know this is a federal program as well. So the federal government has given all of these workforce solution centers across the nation grant opportunities to give to their communities. This is offered to every state. So from my understanding, if you don't use this very quickly, if you don't ask about it, they will basically it will go away. And from my understanding from our representative is that this job center, if the federal government is funding them for only a couple of more years. We also have through them the scholarship and training program. We also have local internships that we looked into, and we also have our partnership with our community college that we have, as well as our TSTC, which is a technical college as well.
Adlena's been doing some awesome things with our CTE department and making sure that they're getting out there and these kids get some hands-on experience as well. I know in the past couple months, we've had a couple of our programs actually attend some of these like hands-on type things with TSTC and some others. So there's a lot that we try to do to make sure they get that experience before they just jump right into saying, I'm not going to college or I'm going to get a job, things like that. We hosted a FAFSA night. It became a requirement for graduation that all students either apply for FAFSA or opt out of it. Trying to encourage a lot of our students that are on the fence due to monetary reasons to complete FAFSA has been a true challenge this past year. We've had parents come in that had no idea where to begin, and Lena and some help from TVCC, we've gotten some great resources and help for them. I can't tell these children enough that there are lots and lots and lots of grants out there if they would just take the time to do FAFSA. I've had one that she unfortunately didn't make it into the top 10 and she didn't think she'd get automatic acceptance, and then she did, and then she had to figure out how to pay for it. So we did FAFSA and we found money, and she has most of it paid for now without even the scholarship opportunities that are about to come knocking in this next semester. The constant contact with seniors about this information and their parents is super important. They probably don't want to see another email from me or a remind message, but each one of those that hasn't done it yet, that has questions, I'm hoping I'm reaching them and they're going to come in and ask those great questions soon. The second semester, we have tons of scholarships that are about to start rolling in from not only the community, but from lots of other places. I've just had 2 students come down to me before we got to go home for a couple of days here, and they had gotten a request through their FAFSA that they were applicable for a scholarship, and that was awesome. So we went in there and tried to look at all the information and make sure that we were on the right path for that. School Links has great opportunities in there. I've had students come down and say, hey, look, miss, I can get this scholarship. I'm like, that's awesome. Look what this great asset is doing for you to help you out. Now tell your friends so they can all do it too. But they're in there if they want to go look for them. And it's just these great opportunities that we've had coming our way.
Honestly, I want to feedback from what she just said there. We wouldn't, if it wasn't for me and Miss Hemme coming together and partnering with the goal for getting these resources together for these students, I don't think it would have been out there, but we have strategically just made plans to say, hey, let's do it together. If I asked her something, she would say, oh, let's go. Even sometimes we've got a lot of things going on, but we come together as a team, her counseling team, we all come together to figure out how to make a way to make these things happen. So a couple of things that I wanted to just add on to this. I just wanted to make sure everyone understands, for students especially, how you need to think about exactly what you need to do with your career, and not trying to obtain a lot of debt. So if you can remember, between the 40s and the 70s, it was all about trades. And then when it became to the 80s and early 2000s, it was just about a college degree. We went from industrial revolution to a digital age where it was just about getting a degree. And for me, that's how I was taught. My dad will tell me, go get a degree, just go get a degree and go get 6 figures. Well, now it's not that way. The degree is not going to get you six figures. You would think that, but it's not that. A degree will give you a start nowadays. But you would have to get a degree and a certificate. I did not go through the traditional way of getting my educator certificate. So I went to an alternative certification. After getting my degree, I still had to go back to school to get a certificate. So I've advised to these students, I've talked to our teachers about it, that are in my department, that our certificate, an industry-based certificate, is going to put them not only a step forward, but make them 10 steps ahead than what we started with when we came out of college. And it also becomes where we now need them for training, because what I see with the market, and when job openings come up, they want to see students with some type of training that is with their degree. That training can be with internships or apprenticeships, either way. But it's really important for students to understand that, yes, you need some education, but you also need some training.
And kind of adding to that as well, a lot of professions that are seeking people right now don't require a 4-year degree. Some are just that industry-based certification, maybe a couple years of apprenticeship. It's not much. And again, that goes back to us talking about FAFSA. If you need to go to TSTC for even 2 years, that money is in there, and FAFSA can help you with that. But just letting them know, like, I've had to have some broad conversations, like, if that's what you want to do, you're going to make good money, you're going to do great things, and it doesn't require a 4-year university. So getting that mindset that we don't need a 4-year college degree is something that we're just going to have to change our mindset. as a nation almost, to know that it's not required for everything we want to do in life. And some of us aren't meant to go do that as the next step in our career.
So here's a small road map that I created for searching for careers. Whenever you're searching for a career, there's a lot of things that you have to take account of. And when I was in school, really didn't have this, or no one really presented it to me. It was just like, what do you want to be? What do you want to do? Okay, that's great. And with this roadmap, each of these links, I think Alex is going to provide this for everyone, but you can go to the links and it will take you to a website about how to find, career activities, career matches for your skills. This is like a little survey, and then it gives you a bank of careers that matches to it. Go into a career cluster activity, career planning for high schoolers, what's your next move, mapping your future, 5 ways to find a career and career ideas in high school. Then it goes into career one-stop shop, and then the careership explorations and search careers by industry. One thing that whenever you go through this roadmap is to be observant. When I tell students this all the time, you have to be observant to the national economic development, and it's always changing. We're in an era that it is consistently changing. Every 60 seconds, seems like something is always being added. And with your skills, you have to understand how my skills are going to be in an industry, and how does it look like in the next 30 years? What does it look like in the next 10 or even the next 5? Is that particular industry going to, give me a suitable living wage? And what do I need to obtain that? Do I need to get some education? Do I need to get some certificates? Do I need to get an internship? Do I need an apprenticeship? What does it look like? And I have students that call me from years ago that said, hey, I'm glad that you taught me how to get my SolidWorks certification, because now I'm making 6 figures with just the SolidWorks certification. It's really important to know that, to set students up, because I want them to be better than what I was. Because at the end of the day, the students are going to be taking care of us one day in nursing homes. And they're going to be the leaders of what this country is going to go into. And it's really important for students to understand, because of the rapid changes, then the education starts to change. Like Ms. Hemme says, there's certain degrees that you don't need, or certain careers that you don't need a degree anymore, but you just need training. You just need a 6-month boot camp just to go through the training, and then they'll put you in a certification program and then place you in a job placement, and then you have a job. It's really important to be observant to what our nation's economic development is going towards. And that's what I have to look at. And that's what I tell my students, because we have to be intentional about what are we trying to do with our lives, those that are affected around us, our families, because at the end of the day, we're going to need a job to take care of our families and our parents that are becoming elderly. So I need to think about what in the next 10 years, what does that job look like? And then will I have to change jobs? But what I also tell students is that it's all about soft skills. If you get into that internship and you get into that apprenticeship position, you have to establish a network. You have to establish your relationship with that particular job that you're with. I have seen it before where my students that I've had the apprentice program through a local fabrication lab, and they were in their apprentice program. They were doing part-time work with them, and then they went to school, and the program that was attached to this company said they will pay for their college. And then once they had finished graduating, they went to go work full-time with this company, and they're making a good living wage to support themselves and their family. But it was all about connections and also about establishing a good relationship with this company. But they also were developing those soft skills in the making as well. I can't stress that enough to the students. We we have a CTE student ambassador program for our students that are a part of our programs. And we're working on soft skills. We tell them this: you have got to make sure that you're understanding how to do a regular handshake, develop a relationship with the company. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent there, Miss Hemi, if you have anything to add.
No, you're doing great. I agree with you on that. Just having them be able to open those lines of communication with other professionals is something that I think, they need that opportunity to do a little bit more. Having these job fairs and the college fairs, I think, allows them that experience to talk with other adults outside of the regular ones in their community. And like you said, those soft skills that we need to have, we're opening up doors for them. We just need more of them to go and encourage others to get on board with that.
So at the end of this, I have some resources for you all to use. This is what I use for myself or just for the students that I have and my teachers that I have, is to look at the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is where you're going to get that projection. And students, high school students, can look at what does the career outlook look for them. My college professor, my physics college professor, he was the one that showed us this, and that's when I got it. And I started to understand, like, oh man, this is my senior year, and I got to look at this, and the 10 years, this is going to happen. Starting high schoolers off now to figure out what's going on for the next 10 years with the industry that they're going into is such key. This is just setting them up. I don't know how much time I have, but for this next one, I've used this in the classroom before. It's called NIPERIS. This is not, well, it's used to call NIPERIS. Now it's called Pathway Connect. Students can have a live discussion with industry professionals about the pathway that they're going into. They have financial literacy, they have virtual tours, women in STEM, they have employability skills. You can sign up for a free session. You can sign up for a free account and do about 2 sessions a month. But there is a paid version as well for this, but I use this in my classroom. Actually, one of my classes is featured on here. But I was trying to figure out, connecting a civil engineer to a project that we were doing, and I taught engineering class, and so he had virtually talked with us and connected the students with what he does in the field that was related to a project that we did. Here's another one. I was telling you about apprenticeships. This is a national recognized program, apprenticeships.gov. This is another way to look at how to get some apprenticeship applications out there. And then it's just about mentoring. I think this is a big deal for high schoolers that don't have that are the first generation that's in their family going into college or going to get their post-secondary education in some type of form. And having a connection with a mentor is such a key. They need someone that's going to connect them, and probably their parents or the people in their family don't know, and it's a great way to do that. This last one, I think this is my last one. The last one here is NASA interns. This is just another one. Some people would think that this has to do with nothing but science and engineering, but it's not. I think people get the not a bad perspective, but they get a different perspective that, oh, this is just for science and geek nerds. And it's not. It's actually for anybody that that want to go into marketing, go into business, go into healthcare. They have internship opportunities for students as young as 16. As young as 16. I've had a student a couple of years ago that went through their program, and it was virtual. This is when COVID was going on. They had a virtual internship. through NASA. And she put that on her college resume and she got a full ride. It is an opportunity, just giving them the choice of what they can do with their future with just simple things of just connecting them. Oh, I think this is my last one, Miss Hemi. I don't know. This one is the internship. I brought this is just for Texas, but I actually searched up on for each state. There is an internship challenge. We took our students here at Wills Point to a function that they were putting on at the Cowboy Stadium. And they were able to, teach them how to use soft skills, how to use those employability skills, a regular handshake, talking about their skills, talking with a professional, talking to a stranger about what they do. This internship challenge helps them to apply for internships. It helps them to develop those skills. Each state has one of these. So if you just check in your state, they'll have it. And that's it. And Miss Hemi wants to add.
I'm good. I think you covered it all.
Excellent. All right. Well, hello, everyone. It's Alex again. I want to thank our presenters, Edlina, Karen. That was a very lovely presentation. I know that we can't really see our audience, but I know they're all giving you both a huge round of applause. Now we're going to go into the Q&A portion. Just a reminder to everyone, if they are on their Zoom screen, you can see towards the bottom, there is a button next that says Q&A. You can open that box up and it'll allow you to ask questions to our two panelists. So you should feel free now to go ahead and go into there and we'll begin answering questions now. We had some questions come in while you two were presenting. And the first one is a request for the slides. Yes, I will be posting the slides in the description of this session in FairStop. So where you found the link, you'll be able to find the link for the slides as well there. A question in from Meredith. Is a question saying any ideas of certifications for interior designers. So I guess the question is more particular to a certain area, but I would say in general, where would you point your students to if they had, ideas for specific things they're interested in?
Oh man, there's I can't think of top of my head. There is an actual association for intern designers. And they have a certification for that. I think it's about 12 months. I think there's a 12-month to like a 6-month thing that they have, that the program for that association, interior designs, academy association. I've searched it before. I can't remember, but there is one. And what I have told students before, if they're getting into interior design, is to go through the path of learning a graphic software. If that's going to be Blender, just learning those free tools. Blender is a free tool that you can use. Cahoom, I don't know if you're familiar, this is a China-based software. They don't have a certification, but they do have a resource that's on there that you can use. It's free, where you go through their trainings and things like that. They have little webinars and things that you can use to help you with updating your skills in interior design, as well as on Autodesk. There is also a program that's on there for interior design. I would definitely find a platform of one of those and there's several. I'm just giving you a few that you could use to start. That will give you the leg up to getting a certification.
Excellent, thank you. Karen, anything to add to that?
No, interior design is not one of the things I know a lot about right now.
All right, well, thank you both. All right, on to the next question. How accurate are the Bureau of Labor Statistics career projections? I believe this is in reference to one of your earlier slides. So
they're pretty accurate. They are. I get even from they send me a local high demand job analysis every year for our area. And so it changes because of industry that comes in. And for us, it's about a 1 to 2 year analysis of what it looks like. I've used it so many times that I look at what they say and what I search online, looking at articles in that particular area. So they're pretty accurate.
Great. Thank you. Karen, anything to add to that?
No.
Great. Okay. On to the next question. How limited are these opportunities for students in special education?
Okay, so when I ask which one, because we just did we just did a resource and transition expo for students with special needs. The Workforce Solutions has programs just for them. And they have grants for special needs students trying to get into the workforce. Community colleges, if you go to their student resource centers, those advisors there, those counselors there, they have a lot of information. And we've had that at our expo where the community colleges came out to just, it was for a general population, but we had them specifically for our students that were special need.
And I know when I have parents from those special education students come to me and ask these questions, I do the best I can to, give them the same information Adlena did, but I also refer them to our SPED department, which is amazing, and they can give them some resources and help out with those transition things as well. And I know Workforce Solutions works with them quite a bit. It does take some planning, so kind of thinking early on about some of those for that is also something else to keep in your mind.
Great. Thank you both so much. I will move on to the next question. This one seems to be in regards to a specific area of study. How does one transition from a high school foundation plus endorsements into a workforce certificate course in emergency, MGT, or pharmacology? Where would they find information in that area?
I would first go to their CTE director or their coordinator they have on campus. They should have the information. If you have a health science program of study on your campus or a law enforcement program of study on your campus, those teachers also have resources for that. Some campuses that offer those programs may or may not offer those certifications. But if they do offer those certifications, those are the places to go to find out.
And if they're researching on their own, they can try to look up maybe the pathways or courses of study that they might have. Like if they're in Texas, we can go to our TEA pathways, and it kind of outlines all that information in there for them as well.
Excellent, thank you. Let's move on to this next question. When creating a community-based partnership between the schools and businesses and creating apprenticeships/internships, would there need to be funding provided by both the school and the business to pay for the student wages?
Well, it's kind of it's a little red line right there. It's a little tricky with the wage situation because the way that we organize our programs of study, if the student in the program of study, for instance, for our business management program of study, the 4th level, so their senior level, it's a junior or senior level class. If they get to that level, it's called a career preparation 1. That particular class will allow them to be connected with a business partner inside the community. And with TEA regulations on our career development classes, they have to meet certain contact hours to get their wages through that company. But the other partnership that we have with the local businesses is just internship opportunities where they're not getting paid, where they are connected to the business through a project they're doing in class. And so that particular business has an agreement with the CT department to work with that particular program to do an internship that they agree upon.
Excellent. All right. I have another question here. Are you able as a senior about to graduate, start a college certificate program like becoming a medical assistant? So I guess if they're close to graduation, are they still able to participate in certificate programs like a medical assistant?
Yes. So we recently have established for our next year juniors and seniors a dual credit program with our community college. So the community college offers a certified medical assistant program where they're getting their college hours and the certification here on campus through our teacher that certifies the students. She's a registered nurse, but she's also a teacher for us. So we, I would encourage you, if you have a health science program that's at a community college, if you don't have one on campus, is to talk with the community college advisor about how to obtain that, because you can do it. You can take a college course, but it will cost you if you're doing it outside the school, if the school has no partnership with the community college.
Great. Thank you so much for that answer. We're going to round this out for this last question here. This person asks, would websites like payscale.com or salary.com be able to provide better estimations of pay for rural areas than the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in your opinion?
I think either one. I usually depend on the labor statistics because they have more of an accuracy there. And you can, if you have a mentor that has more of that's in that particular industry, they can definitely give you some accurate information as well.
Karen, anything to add to that?
No, I don't have anything on that one.
Okay. All right. Well, we are unfortunately running out of time. Alina, Karen, thank you both again so much for taking the time out of your schedule today to participate. For everybody watching, be sure to explore the professional certificate options in our Fair Stop virtual fair that you have come in from. We have interactive booths where you can watch videos, download materials, and even chat with administrative representatives. We're expecting representatives to be in their virtual booths available to chat from now until 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then again at 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time as well. We're expecting representatives to be in their booths to answer questions. You'll also be able to find some booths have a schedule of their own live stream video presentations. So make sure that if you see any that you're interested in, to visit that. And if you can't make those today, you can always go back and revisit them at your leisure. As we said at the top, this professional certificate virtual fair will be open all through the spring. So you'll be able to come back and watch this presentation along with any others anytime you would like. Again, that concludes our expert presentation, high school to workforce transition. I hope you all have a lovely day. Karen and Lena, thank you again so much for taking your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye, everybody.